Hey Assassins, welcome to today's video. So we're going to continue our series that we were doing with Rob from Animus.mobi, and that is the comparing of the tier lists. So we are on the C tier, so we're going to go through that now and basically obviously do what we did in the last episode. So if you did enjoy the last episode, make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and once again, Rob's Animus.mobi website will be down below in the description. So we're going to continue from where we left off, and we're going to start with the C department. So hello, Rob, once again.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
That's all right, not a problem. I just might as well say that this is obviously recorded just after D. I am wearing the same top, just in case anybody puts that in the comment section. Right, so let's go on. So right, first of all, Rob, you've got Almalim. I ranked him in C as well. He's a little bit better now. He's got his legendary weapon, but for me, he just doesn't do enough. He's not bad in a fight, but you know the fact that it's nice that you can obviously give 100% guaranteed assassinations to certain heroes. But my argument is if you've got already an Altair, an Ezio, and people like that whose lethality is so good anyway, that extra 5% isn't really going to make much of a difference.
No. Yeah, he's the only legendary I put down in C, and like you say, his use of giving people the assassination boost is so niche, I don't think you would ever need it. He's got his own legendary weapon, yet still in a fight, like his combat skills are so lackluster. He's just not going to do a whole bunch for you.
Yeah, same for me. He's got the ability, another ability, isn't he, where he kind of pots antagonizes them or something like that, isn't it? Which I think lowers their defenses and attack, I think. But again, sometimes that's not guaranteed to get off without you taking a whack first. So sometimes it's not really, the juice ain't worth the squeeze at times to pot that in. So yeah, I mean, you've got Inigo as well next. I like this hero. Teresa and Georgios were obviously part of the original DPS All-Stars Helix Rift event. So I kind of enjoyed playing them quite a bit because they were kind of the first heroes that I got up there to that level. So yeah, I mean, he's all right. His ability where he takes like basically recoil damage for hitting extremely hard can obviously be quite useful at times. He's got a nice bleed on him, but apart from that, he's fairly average, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly. He's got that reckless assault. I think Adewale has that, right? He'll have that as well.
Oh, right, yeah, with the machete as well. So that hopefully might obviously punch a bit harder than Indigo's does, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a shame you have to lose health, because otherwise, yeah, it's a nice toolkit. I like the fleet-footed. He's obviously got heavy armor, which is great for a DPS, but yeah, he's still not very compelling.
No, he's still outclassed by quite a few others. So yeah, I think we've agreed on that. This is probably the closest tier list I think we're going to probably agree on. I put Teresa in D. She's got a nice bleed on her, but I just found her extremely flimsy. And just I called them kind of like the DPS Trinity because that's who I used to run with. For me, she was the one I used to go to the least. I think she can she throws sand in the face of enemies as well, doesn't she? To lower their accuracy and attack or weapon speed. Sorry, accuracy and weapon speed. So yeah, for me, she didn't quite make C. I just thought compared to her and Inigo, he's better. So it'd be unfair to kind of tier them together.
Yeah, just for me, I think Teresa has pretty good agility for a DPS hero. I remember running those DPS All-Stars and you would use her whenever there was a jump involved or trying to get through a trap or something. So yeah, just about a C for me, but like you say, not great.
Yeah, it could be either or really, but yeah, so I mean that's fair enough. Maria Fulp, I've got her in C as well. To be honest with you, I've barely touched her in ages, but the only thing that I put her in a C for was the fact that she can increase heroes' weapon speeds. And I think when you've got somebody, for example, if you did it to Rodrigo, he's extremely fast attacking anyway. It just makes him so much better. And obviously, if you take him in with somebody like a Jean or Gamiro, I don't know how to say Gamiro's name. Girolamo, is that how you pronounce it?
I'm going with Girolamo.
Right, Girolamo. Giving them a little bit of a weapon boost is quite significant because with them being longsword, they're fairly slow. So that was the only reason really I ranked her in C.
Yeah, it's a nice buff. I wish it lasted longer. 8 ticks, not very long, but otherwise, yeah, a really nice buff.
There's
Um,
maximum applications, isn't there? There's two. Is it 2 or 3 applications you get of it?
yeah, I think it's 2.
Yeah. So, but apart from that, I mean, I've not really used her since I did a video on her when she first came out. So that might have to be a hero I'll revisit. But
Yeah, it's just another one of the specialists they've added through events who we didn't really have any need for or want to play with.
yeah, it was like he obviously couldn't give out double Altair fragments for placement and progression. So they were like, who else can we throw in? Oh, let's throw in Maria. That's kind of what that felt like at the time.
Yeah.
So right, next you've got Perrini. I've ranked her in a C. A lot better with a T5 weapon. Obviously she's flimsy. She's a navigator, but when it gets to endgame content, her checks for not only lock picking but for agility checks as well start dwindling very quickly.
Yeah. It's weird because she's an epic, but she's like a worse version of Louisa,
Yeah,
who's a rare.
yeah, I 100% agree with that. She looks awesome. I think character design, she looks absolutely amazing. But yeah, she's basically a poor woman's Louisa when she's actually a higher rarity. So I found that
Yeah.
a little bit strange, really. Next, you've got Maya. I put her in B, but that's only because I just love firing off the ability. Where if you've obviously got your equipment on, your correct armor and everything on, you're guaranteed 100% dodge when you activate her all-seeing ability. And the fact that you crit on every single attack, I just love using it for just that little bit of burst. And she's got the Grandmaster ability as well. So she's very flaky, but I did bump her up one more just because of them two combinations.
Yeah, she's just kind of the ultimate one-trick pony for me. Like, obviously, the agility is fantastic, and having the 100% clears is great for 2 jumps.
Yeah.
And she's got the ability to like reveal rooms and stuff, but that's such a a one-time use. Like once you've played a level, you never use that ability
Yeah,
again.
I mean, Cassandra's got something similar, Revelations, and I
Yeah.
only really use that when it's a Helix Rift event, and I just want to make sure that I haven't missed a chest. You know what I mean? That's the
Yeah.
only time I would really use that. But yeah, it's not great. I just enjoy firing off that ability. I think that was probably why I put her up a little bit. But once that goes, as you said, she's very one dimensional. Can only really do the odd navigation check for you, but then sometimes at endgame content you can make that navigation check, but then get basically roadblocked by the enemy the other side if you've already used that ability. So, Andrea, you've put in C. I think I may have put her in B. Yeah, I mean she can help out clear story 28, can't she? With enough ET, can't she?
She's a real dark horse for me. So I thought she was going to be a D for sure. I thought she was terrible. And then shout out Khaleesi from Discord because she was using her in the early game, and I was mocking her. And then I went and tested her out, and she was like soloing story 27.
Yeah.
I had to eat a lot of humble pie on that one. So she surprised me for sure. She did a lot better in combat than I thought she would.
Yeah,
Um,
she's I think she's someone who's benefited from like the 2.9 update when they changed the damage formulas. It seems like a couple of these heroes have kind of benefited from that, and especially one I think when we get closer to the top, because it obviously affects the enemies as well. Because like
mhm.
Beatrice took an absolute hiding on the damage formula change.
Oh yeah.
Because I'd started a new account at that time, and the damage from the week before to then when that update hit was day and night. I couldn't believe it was the same hero. It was the same content, but it was just what the hell's gone on here. And I think Angela is probably somebody who Andrea, sorry, is someone who's probably benefited from that.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree.
Next you've got Matteo. He's all right. He's just, I think a lot of people call him Wolverine. I think He's all right early game. He's not the worst. He's probably one of the better common heroes you could use early on. Yeah, I think that's about it really for me. That was the reason I put him in C. He's just slightly better than some of the others down there that are in the D bracket.
Yeah, very basic. He's just slightly better in a fight than a bunch of assassins.
Yeah. You've put Jamie in C. I put him in D. I did a video on him. I like his crossbow ability where he can bleed and slow the enemy. But apart from that, I just found him extremely lackluster. And the thing is I wanted to love this hero because I have a mate called Jamie who looks exactly like Jamie. It is ridiculous. They've got the beard, the haircut. It could be my mate in a game. But I just found him so poor to use. I just didn't enjoy him at all.
Yeah, he's another axe-using DPS hero. So generally fine if you're hitting weak enemies and one-shotting them, but as soon as they start hitting back, he's pretty shabby.
Yeah, I think that's what I found with him. I did enjoy the crossbow ability. I thought that was quite a niche little kind of fun ability that kind of no one else has got.
Yeah, that needs more charges. 2 charges isn't enough on that.
Yeah, and I think that was one reason why I put him in the D tier was the fact that he couldn't use it as often. Like, you think of somebody with a throwing knife that grants initiative, and even Bayek with his bow and arrow that's got 5 charges, and then you give him 2 charges, and you're just kind of like, well, what was the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll put Yorg in B. You've put him in C. The only reason I really put him in B was just the fact that he has the best defenses in the game, and if you're a new person playing the game, for regions, 2, 3, even 4, that defense is just help you out quite a lot. So that was more for a newer player to say, like, you know what I mean, like, this hero will probably help you out in the early game, but yet very basic.
Yeah, for sure. Agree with that. Yeah, very good defense, but once you get into the end game, obviously a rare hero who you're relying on for their defense isn't going to get you very far. But yeah, not bad.
And then obviously a little gentleman called Horatio entered the game, didn't he? And yeah, just absolutely obsoleted him. You've put Faris in C. I put him in D. I can't stand him. I remember when I got him and I ranked him up, I think to level 31. I was doing some content and I actually preferred playing Hamid, and I was like, oh my god, why did I do this? But yeah, just another disarmer that absolutely just absolutely shocking, absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, almost the same hero as Hamid, and I know a lot of people who like Hamid better. But for me, I mean, it just comes down to like the one combat skill they've got different, really. And Faris is giving you a stun, which is 4 ticks of stun, so it generally lets you get off a couple of hits, which makes him a slightly better fighter. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason probably some people probably choose Hamid over Faris is just for the pure simple fact that, like, for somebody who's meant to be the next stage up, when you go to use him, there's not much difference between them, and I think that's what kind of sways it a bit, especially for me. I was a little bit like, well, I might as well have just ranked Hamid up, like, Hamid up.
Oh yeah,
sorry, I always call him
no
Hamid,
point to go after Faris at all.
No, even though he's forced into Helix Drift events on occasions, which absolutely jars me. I think it's Dead Men's Gold, isn't it? Where you have to take him into the 3rd mission.
Yeah, it's kind of like Alexia, where you're just dragging them along for the sync bonus.
Yeah, I don't even do that half the time. I think I just usually take in, because I don't have him as a power level high enough to actually get into Grandmasters. So I just end up bringing in someone like Machiavelli or someone like that as a green hero, and just he's far more useful. So,
yeah, it's only 1 level as well.
Yeah, so that's quite fun. So yeah, we kind of more or less matched each other on a few there. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to B because I've obviously got quite a big cluster of heroes in B, and
oh yeah, me too.
That's going to be That's going to be the next one. So yeah, so that was tier C. So I hope you did enjoy the video. As I said, thanks again to Rob for popping along for doing this. It's been absolutely amazing. But yeah, that is what we've done. So as you can see, obviously we're going through his list at the minute. Mine are underneath, just so you know where I ranked my C bracket, but obviously we're just going to go through them as Rob's, as we do. So thank you ever so much for watching. As I said again, show some love for Animus.mobi. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video where we'll be obviously discussing the B tier. So take care, Assassins, and good night.